Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about American politics, and specifically we're going to talk about Marianne Williamson, which is kind of a shocker. I never thought I'd be like, oh, hey, let's talk about Marianne Williamson. That is super bizarre. I'm very shocked to be talking about Marianne Williamson, but she is coming out. So what era are we in right now? We're in the King Trump era, right? And, Trump has come out as a historic victor, right? It was an absolute landslide, and it really threw the entire political world on its head. Polling is an actual industry. People actually pay money to have polls done. And at this point, it's going to be very hard, I think, for anyone to be like, hey, let's pay $100,000 to get somebody's opinion. Right? Like, because you can get opinions right here for free every day, right? Why would you spend $100,000? And at this point, that's all polls are. It's very clear it was just different people's opinions, right? Like, it was just like, there was no data behind any of them. They were just like making numbers up. It's ridiculous, right? And so, I try not to repeat myself, but this polling thing, this is big. This is big because, and the reason why I am talking about it again is we got to get to the point where we stop doing this, where we stop actually saying, hey, let's pretend polling is real. We've been doing it for 12 years. It was never real in any of them. None of the polls were ever accurate, or useful, right? At the macro level. The entire industry, it's like in the 1800s, they had this entire industry about measuring people's skulls and getting information from it. I don't even know what the name of it was, but because it's been forgotten, it's useless. Polling should be just thrown away as a useless. It's not real. It's not real. Okay, let me stay focused here. Sorry, Marianne Williamson. So she has come out, and oh my gosh, she's crushing it, right? After the election, Marianne Williamson is everywhere, and she looks great. I'm sorry, I'm not just throwing that out, right? That's important, right? This is America. We do not listen to ugly people. We do not listen to ugly people, with a very few exceptions. Right? And this is why celebrity is so important, right? Celebrity does not allow ugly people in, right? That's the point, right? So this is the thing. We're only going to pick our politicians from celebrities going forward. And you think I'm wrong? Good Lord, what did we just elect, right? We elected a guy who's got a movie as a thumbnail on Netflix right now, right? And had one of the best-selling books in America for a while. And we literally elected a dude who spent 10 years on a reality TV show. We're only putting in. But Marianne Williamson looked great, sounded great. And why are people listening to her now? Because she's genuinely the aggrieved, right? She was aggrieved. She was materially punished, materially debilitated by the DNC, by the donor class, by the Democrat donor class, and by the Democrat media elite, there's no overlap. The media elite is the Democrat media elite. It's incredible. And she was not given her shot at an open convention. And here's the kicker. Right now, there ain't no multiverse world, right? There's no branch of time in which Marianne Williamson would not have destroyed Kamala Harris. And everybody knows it, right? Even with her WuWu superior spirituality and people cruelly calling her a wine witch, she would have destroyed Kamala Harris, right? She can talk circles around her. She can go on podcasts, right? Marianne Williamson, I think she's already been on Rogan, right? Kamala Harris could not have a 3-hour conversation with Joe Rogan. Guess what? If you can't have a 3-hour conversation with Joe Rogan, you can't be the president, right? It's pretty astounding. It's really incredible. I can't believe that Marianne Williamson has come out as well as she has afterward. And she's showing great, right? Because she is the genuinely aggrieved. The DNC, the Democrat donor class, and the Democrat media elite all punished her without due. And it's not even, no one would even pretend that she wouldn't have destroyed Kamala Harris face to face, right? In every possible metric. And that she would have beat her out and been the people's candidate. Now, wait a second. What about RFK? Isn't he aggrieved? Isn't he in the same? No, he switched teams. And then people are like, well, you were never a Democrat. You were never a Democrat or a Republican. You were just shifting in the wind, right? And so I really think Marianne Williamson actually stands as something RFK doesn't, right? And RFK is going to get his reward. He's going to get like some cabinet position or whatever. But he was never really a Democrat or a Republican. He was never a side chooser. He was a political shifter, right? Like yeah, a skinwalker essentially. Every single word you just heard. What I mean by that is just a shape. That's the Native American term for a shape changer, right? He just changed. He just doppelganged into whatever he needed to be, which means there was never really any true shape there, and I don't respect that personally. I don't like that he went over the Republicans. I think you pick your team, and Marianne Williams did it. She stayed with her team, right? And there's something to do with that. I think that's cool. I really think Marianne Williams is cool, and I'm really glad she's getting her moment right now. Every single word. Go check her out on some of the. She's been on a million places. It ain't gonna be hard to find her. Uh, every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic, please consider like subscribing and have a fetch millennium.